Hey guys, what's up? It's Tom, and welcome to another episode of Tomcat TV. I know that it's been like a year, but in today's video, we're going to be assembling a Cloudy. So this is a finished Cloudy. This is the inside of a Cloudy. So we have a bunch of different circuit boards. So that's where we're going to start with our assembly, is we're going to put together a bunch of circuit boards. This is the first circuit board. It is the power supply board, and you can see it has a bunch of surface mount stuff on it already. And all I have to do is add this through hole switching power supply. And that goes right here. So I'll just solder that up. Okay, so we got that soldered on there. And this board also gets a little surface mount LED right here. So I'll do that too. We'll just take some leads here. Stick them on the underside of the board. And then we'll solder them from the top. Alright, that's pretty good. Then we'll just snap off these rails here. Alright, and there's our power supply board. The next board is the logic board. Now this has the brains of Cloudy on it, as well as all of the audio components on it. It already has a bunch of these components soldered on. And we're just going to have to add some jacks, some headers here, some pots, and some leads. Now that we've got the logic board all soldered up, all we got to do now is what I like to call the interface board, or the board that's going to have all the knobs and switches on it. The interface board is assembled, and the logic board and the power supply board. And now we will put together the expression board. So let's do that. It's just a couple of jacks and a switch. So now I have all four boards assembled, and now we need to put them together. But to do so, we need to put them in an enclosure. And this is what my enclosure looks like right now. We have to drill it. So I'm going to go and drill all these holes. There's 26 of them. I'll be back soon. Okay, so I'm back. I drilled all the holes, and now we can put all this stuff together. So the first thing I'm going to put in are these little things here called light pipes, and those go in here. These are for the mode and quality indicator lights on Cloudy, so those go there. And then we gotta like push them down a bit. Okay. Next step is we're gonna put our stack of boards together. So I have these headers here, and they match up and go together to make the stack. And this stack wiggles into the enclosure here, like so. And then with some luck, everything lines up. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. These switches, pretty good. These turn, pretty good. So let's put these washers on. Putting these washers on here. And the nuts. I tighten those with these little 3D printed nut thingies from Adventure Audio. Nut thingies is what they're called, I'm pretty sure. They might have something different on their website, but it's actually called nut thingy. Okay. That's good. Those are in there nice and tight. Everything lines up pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna put the foot switchies in. So these guys, just kind of bounce them in here with one hand and solder with the other hand. Okay, now that these are soldered up, we can unscrew the nut. And put them in their holes. Very exciting stuff here. Okay, so that goes in that one, that goes in that one. Flip it. I have these cute little washers here. Right, put these on. Then I use my other nut thingy from Adventure Audio. Tighten these down. This is probably my most used nut thingy of theirs. Alright, so now that I've got the foot switchies in, we're going to put the power jack in. Oops. For this one, I use a wrench. I don't have a nut thingy that fits in this tiny closed quarters here. Alright. Now we can put the washers and nuts of our 1/4-inch jacks in here. And I just do those hand tight because I don't want to put too much stress on the board. Okay, now we're going to put our power board on here. Line it up with these holes here. And then solder that into place. Now we'll just put the leads onto the power jack. All right, that's that. Next step is we're going to put our expression board in here, and we're going to connect it to the header on here, with the header on here with this IDE cable. So we'll do this side first. Ouch. Okay, that's a good amount of struggling for you guys to witness. This is also much easier when I don't have a microphone in my face. Okay, then the other side goes on there. Nope. There we go. Then we have to put a little washer on here. And this goes in here. Alright, that's that. Fits pretty good. Now I'm going to put the nut on with the washer for the expression jack. And I will tighten that down with a wrench. Okay, and these jacks are pretty good, nice and even. And I will solder them the rest of the way. I leave them unsoldered because when I am assembling, since I drilled my holes by hand, they probably don't fit in there just perfectly right. So only soldering them part of the way gives them some wiggle room. And then when I finally fit them like I am now, I'll solder them into place. Alright, now the next step is I'm going to plug in power, and then I'm going to test the power at all these points on the power supply board. And then we're going to flash the firmware, and then we're going to test it. Alright. Okay, the next step is programming. So I'm going to connect my programmer here. And then I'm going to upload my firmware. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to test it. So that tested out just fine. Now we're going to put the knobs on. Next step is I'm going to write the serial number on the board as well as on the back plate with a nice little message. Okay, now we're going to put the back on. But I just wanted to point out that this version of Cloudy has this dip switch in here with these little things that say mono and stereo. That sets the state of the input jack. So you could have either mono or stereo input with a TRS adapter. And then the output is always TRS stereo out. But that was a new thing I added. So it comes stock in mono input. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, let's put this thing back together and put the screws in and close her up. Now, to close the back up, some people use a power screwdriver. I use this Temple Boards manual screwdriver that came with my Temple board. I have a Duo 17. All right, just test it again, make sure it still works. Okay. Now we'll pack it up. Okay, pedal's wrapped up. And now put it safely in its box with some of its literature here. Got a couple of sheets there. So there it is. And there it is. That's the Cloudy box. Now we'll pack it up into its shipping box. So there it is, packed up and ready to ship out. So I hope you enjoyed this how to assemble a Cloudy video, and I'll see you guys next time.